My name is Eric Mokuoa from the Benchmarks Foundation. The questions around solidarity is that we do have challenges in carrying out solidarity in many of our projects. As a practitioner, really, some of the challenges include the declining human rights values in our sector, or perhaps in our own space, the countries that we operate from. They are making it very difficult for solidarity, especially because in some situation where you have people who are traditionally a community do not necessarily understand the individualistic nature of human rights that they are actually bestowed to them. So that's one reason. So the human rights values are somehow declining. People are not necessarily respected. And I link that to the states. I mean, the democratic project that the state is involved in sometimes has its own shortcomings. The nature of the state that is nationalistic in its outlook, meaning that it looks internally into itself. It cares more about people from within its own borders. So it's nationalistic, and nationalism is, by all nature, by all its account, it's narrow. So this type of project that we are in influences how we practice solidarity. In a sense, how does it influence it? In the case of South Africa, perhaps certain things need to be discussed. Giving an example, in the case of South Africa, where you have a state that is now responsible to provide for the people, many of the people who live in the state believe that only citizens can benefit out of it. So as a result, you find that there are spaces where when you have people from other nationalities, it becomes a problem, because the orientation is that only those who have IDs and are citizens of that country can be assisted. So those are some of the challenges that we get. So out of this develops a culture. Remember, the state itself also put out regulations, acts that are meant to transform the society. So how the society is as a result, partly or largely, of the laws that have been passed by the state. So they have influence into how ourselves as human beings, interact with other people. Now, they pose as a challenge this way, that people start becoming individualistic in their nature, that the problems that people have do not matter any longer to other or people. If a person has a similar problem, let me say a person in Congo has a similar problem that I face here, we don't necessarily try to connect that as a common problem that we can address together. So as a result, there is no solidarity. Such problem persists because even internally, a neighbor who is lacking perhaps food or affected by poverty, is just neglected because people are individualistic. So those are the characters and some of the behaviors that we adopt within democracy that impedes solidarity. Now, some of the things that one would suggest and learn from colleagues that we have been discussing is that perhaps this starts from the self, and the concept that the self is political came out very strong, and I agree with it, that for me to be able to see things differently, I should be able to change how I view things. If I'm affected by, say, poverty And in my society, there are many other people. You know, it is good for me to extend extend an invitation into such people that we can come together and fight our common problem. But also, if there are other issues that affect some of the activists who are involved perhaps in any other struggle outside South Africa, and we know of them, and there is suppression of such struggles in their own country, being due to war or being due to laws that are very suppressive, sometimes it's good to, you know, have a human-to-human contact. Take a call, directly call a person and check if such people are well, do they need support, you know, in such cases where they are facing dangers. I think those are some of the activities, but over and above, we have technology, and there are WhatsApp, there are Facebook, the stories of people who are far from me but really resonate with me, and it's a story that suppresses the struggles of the people. I can still share them to show solidarity. You know, I can still share them in my own spaces that I make in an organization where we work. Sometimes we do have meetings, we have conferences. Such stories can be shared with other people to show solidarity. Thank you very much for the interview.